Hello there. Wow, the pauses between these videos are immense. There's been a whirlwind of things to try out in gaming recently. That, on top of playing new games I could look into a review, made things a little more hectic than they already were. That said, welcome back to This Is a Game. My name is Doomba, and this game is Grime. What a weird game this is, right up front with this. This game is like Dark Souls being injected with one of those strange, abstract theatrical performances. You know the ones I'm talking about. Yeah, those. But let's talk about some of the formality information regarding the game. Grime was released on August 2nd in 2021. It was developed by Cloverbyte, the same developer of a game called Vigil, which was another side-scroller Metroidvania Souls-like game released last year, I believe in October 2020. The tags of Grime specifically include Metroidvania, Souls-like platformer, dark fantasy, and horror. You can see some of the footage here as to exactly how unnerving the game really is. There are a couple faces up front here. You play a muscular naked man, or mostly naked, there is no nudity, just the frame of a male, and the head is a black hole. Yep. Your body is made out of what seems to be sentient rock that can be split apart and formed again into what makes you. There are these two humanoid yet godlike figures getting spicy in the beginning scene. My first thought was that we're a child born from their spiciness, put on a rock world with a bunch of literal rock monsters. From then on out, it's all on you. Explore and survive. See what the hell is going on in the world. There's a lot of environmental storytelling, something that games like Dark Souls are very well known for. A lot of fun imagery takes place. A lot of fun imagery like faces being present, or eyes or hands reaching out to you. So a little content warning, if that's the type of thing that disturbs you, might be best to skip this video. All formalities out of the way, let's just go ahead and get in game. I didn't want to start showing what was in the game without giving that quick synopsis and warning just in case. Actually, before I go in game, I wanted to talk a little bit about the options menu for a moment, because I know there are some people that expect certain options before they get a game. The game may not be compatible with their system for whatever reason. So the game systems quickly. I will timestamp the video into chapters. If you want to skip this section, you may do so. Everything on the options menu is pretty much there. Screen resolution options, full screen, windowed and borderless, VSync on or off, an FPS limit, which is always nice. Texturing quality options, shadow quality, a couple of anti-aliasing options here. Always nice to see. Can even control the gamma in a slider form, which would be the brightness in case you didn't already know. A couple of on and off options down here. We got audio options on sliders right here. Some general game settings over here. So lots of ways to customize your experience. Also a lot of languages available, always nice. One thing that I think the game should have are tooltips. Tooltips down, specifically for these options down here, these on and off options. I just don't think I'm alone in not knowing what the hell chromatic aberration means or vignette. I don't know what it means in terms of the game. So that would be nice to see. Let's go over the controller settings quickly. Rebindable keys, always nice. You can use a mouse and keyboard or a controller. I personally recommend controller. I am specifically using a PowerA Spectra Xbox One controller, if you're curious. So there we go. These are the options. Let's go ahead and get into the actual game. All right, this is Grime. I played through a little bit of the game already on the strength build, but decided to try out a dexterity build. This is your character, nameless rock individual. We got a black hole for a head, pretty hardcore. To go over controls quickly, left joystick allows movement side to side. Pressing up or down on the joystick controls where you're able to look. It controls the movement of the camera. The X on the controller is the basic attack. Y is the heavy attack. Jump is on the A button. B is dodging. Left trigger is how you interact with things, such as this monolith right here. The right trigger is the healing ability. When your orange bar at the top left there, the curved one, not the straight one. The straight orange bar is your health. The curved one is the healing ability. Once that's filled, you're able to use healing. The left bumper switches between weapons. You have two choices of weapons. You're able to switch between them using the left bumper. And the right bumper is a counter move. You're able to press this at just the right time when an enemy attacks you. You'll be able to counter their move. The directional buttons on the bottom left there indicate towards items you can use on the fly. If we go into inventory, you can see a lot of the items you're able to use. Throwing spikes, explosives, buffing items, even ones similar to the specialized souls you can collect in Dark Souls that up your souls count very quickly. The souls version in this game is mass. You break these unformed items and they give you extra mass, which is then used to upgrade specific stats on your character. I actually have armor that you can take on or off. You may be able to see that there's no actual stat changes. Hold on. You may be able to see that there's no stat changes when you put on or take off armor. They are mainly cosmetic, the armors. It confused me a bit at first. We can go ahead and take a look at the stat structure. As I said, I decided to go for a dexterity build. Just go to the grow option. So these are the main stats you can upgrade at the top here. Each have varying effects to your strength and other stats surrounding your character or vessel, I suppose. Down here, you see your traits. You get them by defeating specific types of enemies and collecting shards from them. Leveling up these traits gives you specific buffs, as you can see. They can help you progress through the game if you upgrade them. Now, forgot this at the start. If you press the start button, it brings up your inventory. And if you press the select button, you're able to bring up the map. So we go over to inventory and go over a tab. We can see some of the enemies I have encountered in the past to get little blurbs about them. I honestly get a little bit of Blasphemous vibes when it comes to the horror aesthetic here. If you've never played Blasphemous, I recommend that game too. Another Metroidvania horror-ish game. Has a bit more gore than what is seen here, but still a great game nonetheless. Anyway, back on topic. Controls and basic setup out of the way. This is your character. We're in a rock world filled with rock creatures, and strange humanoid symbolism is attached to most of the structures you encounter. Everything has strange humanoid features, faces, hands, etc. Very unnerving to travel through, in all honesty, but it does make you wonder what the actual hell happened in this world. You can see a lot of the faces in the background there. And even an ear right there. Gross. Things aren't really explained here, and most of the creatures you can talk to talk in riddles or just flat out confusing or maddening language. Talking about hearing voices and such. This guy here. This is the traitor. You're able to listen to him if you wish. Talks in riddles and confusing language. But let's go ahead and get to the combat. To preface, I am not good at this game, and this game is also incredibly difficult. It follows this sort of formula with games like Hollow Knight and Blasphemous, incredibly unforgiving the second you do something wrong. Since I went the dexterity build, I attack faster than I would with a strength build. You'll see the green bar under my health bar is the force I have. It's basically the stamina to do things such as dodge. can go ahead and get into combat here. That is the counter move. Able to counter. Can go ahead and get into a fight with this guy if I wanted to. He wasn't attacking me, but too late. Now, to show off a little bit more of the landscape, I can go ahead and move to the left here. This actually gives me a chance to talk about one of my first gripes with the game, and that is the fall damage. Now, I understand difficulty-wise. This adds to the difficult aspect. I personally do not enjoy it when a Metroidvania platforming game incorporates fall damage into the gameplay. But it is present here, so be careful of that if you do play it. There are some creatures that do not attack you. Oops. As demonstrated before, there are some creatures that will not attack you, like these gold fellas here. Other ones that will attack you upon them seeing you, like that fella there. Now then. Some jumps are incredibly difficult to make. Oops. So another enemy right here. Along with this guy attacking me. You can easily see that you get stuck. You get stuck if you get attacked once. There you go, some of the difficulty. You can go ahead and go back to the same area because there is something I wanted to talk about over there. So some of the jumps are very difficult to make, like this one. There is a climbing up mechanic where the game will automatically climb up, as you saw there. It's just a little wonky at times, the climbing up. There's a growing number of sections of the game where it requires some of that precision platforming. Definitely something to watch out for. Another gripe I had with Grime revolves around the music. It's just a choral background. There's no combat music. Each zone just has their own music and plays over everything. I am personally not a huge fan of it. Oof. Alright, I am personally not a huge fan of it. I like games with interesting soundtracks. Hold on. Need to go ahead and take care of this fella. I like interesting soundtracks. You can apparently purchase DLC for the soundtrack for $10. Really unsure of that right there. That said, sound effects are pretty decent. A lot of rock sounds to pretty much everything, as to be expected with a world like this. Along with a powerful thud when you get hits off, it's also pretty satisfying. As you can see. Very nice. Besides these general points, standard Metroidvania gameplay, run through a very large map, collecting upgrades, get stronger to take on new sections of the map filled with new enemies. Sometimes you run into some disturbing bosses that are quite interesting. Now, all that is to say, I enjoyed my time with Grime. Not sure if I'll be playing much more of it, as it's not exactly my type of game. I do enjoy Metroidvania games. Hell, I intend to get Metroid Dread when it comes out soon. But the difficulty of this mixed with very slow progression towards actually knowing what's going on puts me off playing through. More and more of these games have been dipping their toes into the over $20 USD price tag. Not sure if I am entirely a fan of that, because many games I run into I feel may not be worth the $25 that a game like this would cost, but I would be willing to spend $18 or $19. For me, that is the case with Grime. I do not feel it is worth the $25 that it costs, but for you, it very well could be. I feel one would choose to play this specific game over others because of the imagery. I mean, hell, I'm walking on a face right now. There's a lot of interesting things to see in this world, a lot of strange, perhaps twisted things that you could run into. And it's worth experiencing for that alone. But I feel like that's the main selling point of the game, not the combat, because I feel like other games just do combat better. Uh, Other games just do platforming better, even. If you want an interesting experience, wanting to scratch that Dark Souls itch while also looking through some unnerving imagery and scenes, then this is worth the price tag. For me, I almost quit a few times because of the difficulty, which would make the fact that it has an interesting world completely moot, as I wouldn't have experienced a lot of it if I didn't just keep trying or I backtracked. Again, that's the nature of difficult games. Just wish there was an easier way to progress that wouldn't be solely reliant on my awful skill. Now, all that to say, there is a demo of Grime available if you still want to be able to play a little bit of it yourself. It is right on Steam on their store page. Just give it a shot if you wish. It will also be on sale for the next day or so. Not a huge one, just from $25 to $22.49. If you wanted to save some money on the process, I think that would be worth it as well. From here on out, it's up to you. That's it from me. This is a game. It's called Grime. If you like this video, feel free to press the like button, leave a comment to start a conversation, subscribe if you haven't already to be updated when I do upload new videos. Also, feel free to leave a comment to let me know of game suggestions you have that I could potentially look into. Join my Discord to join the community and also get notified when I do upload. The link to my Discord is in the description below. My name is Doomba. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And goodbye.